Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have a very interesting article to go over, and this one in particular is going to prove something that we've been saying for quite a while now. Activists that are in entertainment right now, the majority of them do not care about the entertainment that they are partaking in. The only reason they are there is because the place and the situation has allowed for them to push their activism with little to no actual backlash from the mainstream industry of which they are in. We have an article here from That Park Place with a headline that reads, "Woke activists want Games Workshop to turn orcs into Dungeons and Dragon orcs. Who do we contact at Games Workshop to move them in this direction?"
Right now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
Yes, that is correct. You heard me right. They want to change what the orcs look like in Warhammer into what the orcs now unfortunately look like, which is here in Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't even bother covering this because, to be honest, Dungeons and Dragons is so far gone that I just don't give a fuck anymore. I mean, they're literally turning orcs into like these, I don't know, different versions of representation. You got white fat orcs, you got black orcs, you got Mexican orcs now with the fucking hats and everything. You got all the stereotypes possible in the orcs, and they're not just one, fluid race. Now they just have all forms of real life races attached to them. You even got freaking indigenous orcs. I mean, what are we doing, right? So now they want the brutal orcs from Warhammer to be turned into the orcs from Dungeons and Dragons, and I hope that they don't do that. So let's get into this video, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. It says a woke activist has called for Games Workshop to radically redesign Warhammer 40k's orcs in order to look more like recently redesigned orcs in Dungeons and Dragons. Ex-user Norn Queen Kaya posted, "I think the 40k orcs could learn from the orcs in D&D. Who do we contact at GW to move them in this direction?" In a follow-up, she attempted to make her activism look like a troll or bait, post-sharing a gif from Nickelodeon's iCarly series that states, "And now we wait." So again, ladies and gentlemen, people who try to claim that you're a rage baiter, you're this or that, they're the ones who are projecting, because they do that so much on Twitter. They are engagement farmers, and as much as they want to call YouTubers engagement farmers, they are literally doing the exact same thing without providing any context other than, hey, I'm going to put out something that's going to piss people off in the hopes to garner a lot of impressions and a lot of views. Now, this particular person, Kaya, she apparently, she, whatever it is, she apparently has done this before in many different forms of media, many different forms of gaming. She is going into different IPs, different communities, and trying to essentially make them woke, and then celebrates when they actually do become woke, and then go on to the next one. Because again, it's not about partaking in the activity. It's not about actually enjoying the IP. She's not a fan of any of this stuff. She just wants to destroy everything she possibly can get her hands on. However, her previous posts make it clear she is indeed a woke activist that wants to ruin franchises. In fact, she appears to take joy in it. Let me make it very clear too, ladies and gentlemen, that the people who are like, there's so many people that are like Kaya out there, it's ridiculous. Most of the activists that are out there in the gaming scene are 100% fakers. They are not actually partaking in the IP of which they're trying to push their activism. It's not happening. Once they get their way, that's it. They move on. They're only there so long as they're hearing the word no. And once they hear the word yes, they're gone, right? Once the franchise is ruined, once people are like, wow, this is woke and stupid, I'm done with this. Once that happens, they're good. They're happy. They get their rocks off and then they move on to the next thing to ruin. It says back in April, she wrote, "Now that 40k is successfully woke and conquered, and Helldivers is just about there, where are we going next? Battletech?" She added, "Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to tweet this. This was meant for the Secret Council of Woke Conquest." As noted by novelist and YouTuber John De La Rose, Norn was one of the moderators on the Trench Crusade Discord. As noted by user Lady Runesong, the Trench Crusade Discord moderators were tracking people to X. Lady Runesong wrote, "I got the boot. I was friendly for the few posts I was allowed to make, so I guess my crime was putting a certain emoji on 2 pearl-clutching posts. My history was wiped, along with the general NTC channels 2 days ago, so I guess they are tracking down everyone's X accounts. That's not too shocking." Delarose also noted in his video he was contacted by Norn Queen on X and was asked to delete a post he made on X. He commented, "So it sounds reasonable on the surface, right? But I didn't go to post this person's picture. This is the Discord moderator's profile, and Discord is public. I joined it. It's on their website, so this is a public thing." Now, ladies and gentlemen, I do find it pretty interesting that this person is asking for something to be deleted, considering that their entire personality on Twitter is trying to get people riled up so that they could get quote tweeted and whatnot. So, it's just rules for thee, not for me. But this person is very clearly someone who is either extremely bored, extremely angry, perhaps not that happy with themselves. We already found out with Star Wars Theory, with the people hating on him, that one of them made up an entire persona online because they hated themselves. So don't put it too far past these people who hate themselves to try to project so much on you, different kinds of hatred. He then questioned, "So it's like, huh? You can't post public things that are public on Twitter? Why is that a problem?" The real problem is that I'm pointing out that this is a woke activist who is a moderator in there. And that's what they are trying to make not known under the guise of it's about a profile picture being posted. This is the kind of censorship sort of tactic. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, if you are partaking in this activism stuff and you're all for it, right? You're just talking all this shit publicly about woke this, woke that, and then you get upset when people who take your publicly available social media information and decide to post it alongside what you have been saying, I think you're a fucking loser. Like, that's just flat out. Like, you should be able to stand by your words and what you say. Think about all the activists out there that have either went protected, blocked everybody, deleted their accounts, or whatever the case may be, once a light was shown on their comments. And I don't understand. What do you guys think is going to happen when you make posts on social media that are going to piss people off? You think a light's not going to be shined on it? Of course it is. But then you want to claim harassment when people shine a light on you, which is ridiculous in its own. Delarose also shared a screenshot of DMs with that Park Place that he exchanged with Norn Queen after he was indeed banned from the game's Discord. Delarose asked to be unbanned, but it was informed that would not be the case because of the YouTube video he made that showed the moderator's face, and he accurately described the individual without lying. It's not out of the realm of possibility that Games Workshop would entertain such ideas. The company posted a message back in 2020 stating, "We will never accept nor condone any form of prejudice, hatred, or abuse in our company or the Warhammer hobby. We will continue to diversify the cast of characters we portray through miniatures, art, and storytelling so everyone can find representation and heroes that they can relate to." I'm telling you right now, man, if they turn the Warhammer 40k orcs into the orcs like in D&D, the newer version of D&D, I think that will be probably one of the final straws for a lot of these Games Workshop people that are holding on by a thread because they've invested a lot of time and money into the hobby. But can you imagine having their badass orcs all changed into these wokeified fucking orcs that are just essentially racial stereotypes in the orc race? I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. And I guarantee you, like the article says, don't put it past Games Workshop for the realm of possibility of this happening. I think that if any company would follow through on this request, it probably would be Games Workshop. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.